Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. Somehow, we've been getting a lot of conflicts lately. So the first thing to do is figure out, well, I guess I should actually bring up the changes. Figure out if there's anything we need to generally position around here. Or make other updates. It always needs to be compressed. It probably has to do something with the stat kit. Alright, we can possibly... Actually, I think this was since the last time I worked. Server, 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 server. I don't think that was conflict, though. Get player position. That might actually be useful in a few cases. Server, server, object bank. That's for the fences. Server, server. Fog mode actually on. Not just fog mode actually on. That's map object movement mode. Leader, follower, ally. Get our leadership chain. He is exiled. Show player label. Oh, maybe that's what bumped into us here. Family. I don't think I've touched family yet. There's some new commands. Maybe it could be header file. Maybe extraction of some of this stuff. This actually is display global message. Oh my gosh, he abstracted a function. Oh, maybe we can do some stuff with that. I could see that as being a thing. Oh, I've actually intercepted global messages sometimes. So that might change where I have to do that. And I might have to adjust my help page layout. So we've got, what was it? Global ding function. Help page layout. Was there something else? There were some helper functions for the hierarchy stuff. I don't know I'm going to be able to use that. Show player label might be some trouble. Also, it'd be a nice place to intercept, well, either calls to it or itself. Intercept uses of that if we don't want them. Client side visual glitch. Fixed server side. So there's a couple places I know with like the commands where it's like he reinterprets the thing that the client's going to send on the server, which means that you can't necessarily send that command with intent from the client, because it's going to get reinterpreted. Ah, yes, and function, and we have a get player pause function. You know what? I'm not necessarily going to have this handy when I come back to this. I don't think I'm going to be affected by those. Display global message. Help page layout is its own thing. And there was show player label was one of the recent ones, wasn't it? Maybe not. Show player label. Don't know if I interact with those. Now, about the actual conflicts. And it is the CPP. At the start of the end of it. That looks like the end. Ah. So I did do something to global message. And one thing I hate about this diff format is it doesn't make it obvious what I've done to this. Well, it's show close family. Oh, it's probably the new player recognition. Also, I could perhaps just diff this with the extracted code. So, where is that? It's not object bank. It's fog mode. I thought it has kind of its own commit. No. Inherited, leadership inherited. Display global message. All right, so we can take that. Oh, because he's doing client-side messages to do information. That's why. So unfortunately, I was using a partly processed message here. But this is only going to be in the server end of things. So either this goes into the global message that also processes client stuff, or we have to do some of this processing only on this, or like repeat some of this processing on the other side. So found, replace all, delete lines. Yeah, so that is definitely one of the things I changed. Global message showing, current time, tutorial sheet. Hint sheet, tutorial sheet index. Tutorial sheet, tutorial sheet, tutorial sheet. So the easy way will just be to put this in a little message. So this should be a relatively... So it was originally 2 lines of currently uncertain amount of space. Display global message. And, okay, so actually, looks like this stuff was what I added. So this goes completely to the patched version, or actually the current version. And was that the only one? The only one in this patch. Oh. STG series, STG go to, well, get everything fixed. Show learned tools. Okay, there's only one patch. And it's global message again. That's why we got some little conflicts. So it looks like... and this is where we do some blocking. And we add some brackets. No. So that sort of picks up where it was. You know, I was trying to create fewer conflicts, but if you pick up a piece of code and remove it, tutorial. So I guess I ended up changing the spacing. So that'll be a bunch of white space errors in my patch context, but it's not in the patch itself. You know what? I never did do test compiles on these. Oh, I haven't actually fixed this stuff up yet. That will definitely fail. Right, I was jumping between players a lot. What I'm doing today, and I'm going to be doing some later stuff later. I don't... Maybe I do have tool slots on in this game, or this current server. I've had some tool exercising areas, but I've also... been moving stuff around testing things. Okay, so that's almost learned. So that's one of those awkward cases where it's like sort of useful to know which stage you're on. And then, yeah, then that was an actual learn. So that got blocked. Okay, so that was just that stuff. I don't know that I... Did I even do a version update for last week's patches? So now I probably forgot anything that was changed README-wise. So I probably will need to do a little maintenance release on that. Alright, so... Right, there were a couple of things I had notes on. So display global message that actually broke everything that was interfacing with it, so it's fine. I need to check help page layout. Oh, I don't even need you. Oh. Oh, I forgot to put one R life in the title. Alright, did that... Okay, so that was... Yeah, it took some space out of this area. Was that the only thing he changed there? Maybe he added the note. I don't think one line does it. Oh, and he didn't add, like, leader ally. So that will possibly impact this. So, we're gonna have to do something here. Oh, where is this? Help overlay. Which is no longer a custom overlay. It's like in here is almost the only piece of real estate we've got. I don't really want to take this out. I mean, these are still directions. Oh no, the more commands. He ran out of space here, so we put them over here. And that took all the space I was using. And now we can't add more remotes because there's no place for them on the help screen. I could move, if I could move disconnect down, I might be able to squeeze it in. That's actually in the English string, though. It's just like a bunch of carriage returns. Maybe I could do like one thing here and one thing here. And is this actually in game? Maybe not. Okay, that's too common. That's also common. Oh, maybe... what did I call it? Well, it's going to be in the patch, right? No, that's game.cpp. Okay, so the help interaction keys, help mark keys. It's key stuff. Pause emotion. Oh, did I? Never remove those? Okay, you're going to find those in at least one file game. Or Vim. This is in Living Life. Okay, that's in game. Yeah, I think I forgot to remove these. Oh, no, wait. No, 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 no. I left them here. I did a forward declaration because they're using some data that's in that file, and then we call them. So that's the mark keys, the interaction keys. Draw help, and draw a pause screen. Did I just do this all in line? Yeah, I guess I did. Command hints A. Draw message. So this is probably going to turn into 2 calls. So this is going to use some similar alignment to the emotion keys. Draw pause emotion keys, which is here. So you get a message pause to start doing this. That's the draw pause as we're going through command hints B. Right, or is command hints B must be the other thing. And I'm just kind of overlaying this into the space around command hints A. But this is given that draw pause. Yeah, so I'm offsetting a little bit from command hints A. So probably taking that same draw position and going up could work. Or we just take the draw position of chat commands and so this stuff, well, these were in line. Right? Yeah. Of course, this is bumping draw pause. And before that was after everything. Oh, and then this resets, so that's cool. So I was trying to position that proportionally. This is probably going to be exact. So from there, we want to go. Did I ever figure out what the line size was? I probably had to have it for that stuff. Actually, you're probably plus. Yeah, so actually you're going to be X. Go over a little bit. Not 200. We'll start with 100. And then we're going to do Y. Yes, minus. So you were going 222 to line up nice. Which we won't have such a nice number. That's going to be roughly half. Yeah, so we start there again. And then these will have to be adjusted. That's right. Yeah. Berries don't regrow, so we were just making lots of pies. Being off the screen is weird. Oh, did I actually remove this from here? Yes. Okay, so that includes chat commands. So we're gonna have to bump down a few lines for that. That might be okay then. So that was 100. So is it like 20 per line or something? Okay, so that's a little bit too much. I mean, actually having it unaligned from that might help set it off. 100 actually worked out pretty good. Might want to shorten up. Man, I'm not sure how to shorten up pause say. Backspace we can shorten a little bit. I guess I could do this kind of two-line thing, but like it's F1. Ooh, I should offset it more. I did. We could do that. And my keyboard does not have the abbreviated backspace. All right, well, maybe we do it too. Let's see. So you're over one. So you're over one, and then 222 minus 152. And there's 70. Okay, well, it's a little awkward, but it's there. And that is also another update. And this could possibly move around some other stuff. Now, this just exports the applied patches, right? No new files. Edit notes. So we fixed that. So definitely nothing broke on show player label. That's something I've probably thought about. Blocking some of those. LS. But never got to the point where it's like, this particular one really bothers me. Use genetic family. Leadership chain. Follower ally. And that might just be good for later. Get player pause might actually be useful for like, well, what did he use it for? Our pause. So only 2 places. That's for out of range checks. And it is just accounting for if somebody is carrying us. The thing I wanted to look at was we did some location slip updates. Location slips. There's going to be a particular spot. If we're pointing at a player, update location slip. Fade. Pause is not equal. Target pause. So this would probably be called if we was a update person location slip. But that's with an XY. Update person home location. Oh, this is already handling held by adult. Is it though? Oh, if not held, update their location. Oh, if they're holding a person, then we update the slip for that person with the current person's position. So we're actually already essentially covered here because we're doing it on the player updates. Oh yeah, and that was a little quality of life patch, which is perhaps a little bit more practical. That is a new patch though, so we'll have to do, well, maybe if I pop and STG new, actually this is probably going to be starvation dings in general. This is going to be based on starvation ETA rather than absolute food. We could also consider the bonus in this, which I don't think it happens right now. I think this is more of like a hunger. STG series. Okay, so it did go into the position we wanted. So we're done with patch conflicts. We might get to graph layout later. Working on hunger dings right now. Is it called, well, is it called ding? And it'd probably be called like hunger ding or something. Nursing hunger. If only that was in the life logs. Hunger slip visible, set music loudness. Pulse hunger sound. Yeah, this unfortunately might end up being some gnarly code. Hunger IF. Do I even have an IF player? It's probably in here too. Game source. Other sounds. Curse chime, tutorial chime. Yep. Not now. So there's some variant stuff. And this is just, I don't know, this is like setup loading. So we're loading it. We're saying that, and hunger sound, play sound sprite. Oh, is it actually synced up? With the bounce of the animation. Well, he's probably varying that by the hunger level. If new dir, yeah, so whenever it goes down. Or yeah, when it goes from up to down, we pulse. All right, so to test this, we need to, we're probably gonna need to kind of hack up our internal representation of hunger position. I might even look at the bug key to take it up and down. Note position offset, last screen view center, hunger slip wiggle amp. It's a data variable. Amplitude as we are further from hidden and shrinks again as we go back down. So there's a wiggle time and a wiggle amp. Last pause, new position. Where's new dir? New dir is slip harmonic. Get sound effects loudness. Middle of the screen. So we need to figure out what goes into determining the urgency of this stuff, which is either going to be wiggle time or amplitude. Fully hidden, reset wiggle time, advance wiggle time, hunger slip wiggle speed, pause offset, target offset. There's amp, there's speed. That's if it's greater than 0. Well, it only seems to be 0.5 or 0. So I think we want wiggle speed. 0.5, 0. Oh, maybe this is like full, hungry, starving. And as you go between those different stages, then you have different urgencies. So what we actually need to do is adjust the time to the different hunger slips. So which hunger slip are we showing? Well, here's a speed thing. Hunger slip pause offset. Advance wiggle time by wiggle speed. That's just frame rate factor. Move all towards their targets. Hunger slip visible. This is the case for babies. Full or starving? Okay, so that's part of the problem. Is we go direct from full to starving, and then we've got the full high-frequency ping. But I think that was the intent, was to show when you can eat. Hunger slip visible equals 2. Else, if we're at food capacity, 0 must be full. If it's less than 4 and we're not super old, we get starving. But no hunger sound. So what's hunger slip 1? End of life song. Food store greater than 0, greater than 1. Greater than 1. Play hunger sound. Greater than 0. Oh, so at the end, it's like always play it, don't pulse it. Food store hunger step 1. So he's less than 8, less than 4, and then special case for babies. Which presumably it's 2. You can eat it all? I thought maybe it was half. So I could almost, well, I guess babies at 4 are always hungry, so. So just making this hunger slip 1 would be a little bit of an improvement. In terms of the number of dings you get. Although, I guess, what I kind of want to know is how long am I going to last? So he's doing this, our live object food store. We're in step. Food increased. Someone else fed us. All the yum updates. So this looks like we're receiving messages. We got a food change of some sort. So we update all this stuff. I guess I could theoretically need to change it to the temperature changed, but, you know, it should be fine most of the time. So we're basing this on age and food store. Maybe I could actually make, well, maybe I could make this part of the estimated burn rate patch. That's included currently. Burn rate line. That gets a length. So 30 times 60. Over food drain times. All right, because we're doing this per minute. Food drain time. Right, because we actually get this from the server. So, right, because I was drawing that as a time per minute, and 30 is maybe the pixel factor or something. This actually updates. Well, this is a temp update. So maybe we need to move that to temp updates instead of, well, temp updates and food updates. We'll have to see how that works. So we've got, so that is seconds per pip. We want to know, we want to base our dings on how long we have. So I'm not actually sure. So what I want to figure out, and you can actually just get this in game in terms of the food drain time under various conditions because of the hover. We want to get some kind of, decide on some kind of baseline time that roughly correlates to the food values. So that could be naked or that could be clothed. Most of the time we're clothed. Okay, so that is 51.8. So we're burning like a pip every minute, which is about right. I don't know if I've got, maybe we do like wool clothes. I think I've got some of those, and because I'm just about to die here. That's like moderate insulation. No, I don't. Ghost costume. Actually, I don't know if I've got any pants here. And then that would be the moderate insulation would be kind of an average. Is it actually shorts? No. Well, I know it's loincloth for the rabbit. Okay, if it's not pants, is it a wool something? There's a wool booty. There's sweaters. Not jeans. Well, there are red versions of it, right? Well, red's how about something a little less of a common substring. Trousers. Did I get some weird state of that? It worked. Okay. There's some weird thing. Okay, where it gets out of that. I guess the cursor goes in the text box. Ew. Okay, let's okay, it's not clog. What? There's gonna be a lot of wooden stuff. Wooden shoe? Wooden shoe. Why? This is a very new phenomenon here. When I come back and go into VOG, I'm fine. But I was like selecting stuff. Okay. So 115. That's about doubled where we started. I guess 120 would be kind of an average-ish. It'd be a nicer number, but just for our baseline stuff. All right, so if we take that as our baseline, base game says we do hunger at 4 and 8. So 4 food boxes at, I mean, actually, if we just do, if we do 120, that's just two. That's pretty good. That's 2 minutes per box. So that would just be, wait, would that really be 16 and 8 minutes? That actually seems large. Again, I guess I don't have shoes all the time, so maybe that's optimistic. Well, we know it was 50 something at naked and 115 at somewhat better closed. If we split the difference and do maybe 90, because that'd be like 80-ish. Because, I mean, that would say we're hungry at 16 minutes to starvation and starving at 8 minutes. But sometimes those can go real fast. Well, we're going to adjust it. My point was, what time does the current hunger things represent? Oh, and this is on my super modified server where everything is 10 times. Well, shoot, it's not even 10 times speed. If I just want to get numbers out, because I'm like added a 0 to each end, but then you're interpolating within that space, so I'm not sure. Because that would say that that's like 5 seconds and 11 seconds, roughly. Assuming that the times 10 sort of covers the entire thing, that seems a bit more reasonable what you see playing. So if we took the 11.5 seconds per pip times 8, that's 92, and half of that, oops. It's about 46. So we could just call that like 90 and 45. Let's see. Do I want to do 90, 45 or just want to make that like 1 minute, 2 minute? There's the whole trade-off of you have more time that you get noticed and you also get notified more often. So maybe we start with that, with 4590. This might need to update whenever our food train time updates, but what was our key thing? Food store, hunger box, burn pause, food capacity. Oh yeah, step, last 8 ID. Here we go. I still have to decide if I want to leave this thing in place. Because, you know what? Babies were specifically the thing that was bothering me. So I might be kind of doing a replace on this. I'm not necessarily testing babies right now, so we can... now on this server, you're like never going to be that time. So maybe I have to like do these times 10 or something. Or I need to have some little keys to manipulate my apparent food store. And or food burn rate. So we want, and then our time to start, our starvation time and our hunger time are just times 2, so we can calculate the 45 seconds. We're going to need food store. We're going to need our live object, was it the food drain time? So that's in seconds. That's the time. That's the seconds per pip. So actually, this is our player runtime. Maybe this should be like a mod setting. Food capacity, sure. Food store less than or equal to 4. And cur age. So this is runtime less than or equal to starvation time. I guess that kind of is starvation time, but like that's the other one is the starvation alarm time. Starvation time is less than alarm time. Oh, you know what? I'm probably going to want to make this a setting at some point. So that lets, some of this does inline code. So we kind of have to duplicate things. Actually, I can do this. And then that remains untouched. Or I do like my entire chain, checking the state variable at every step. So if we skip babies, because that's the thing that was actually specifically bugging me. So this case would have actually been fine. All right, and then we say, oop. Still had a little bit of deletion there. Starvation time is less than alarm time. This stuff is kind of reasonable to do. It's just this one. I just want to plot a function for this. So this, if it's greater than 0 and greater than 1, I guess if we get to starving, this is to, and this is when our food just changed, this is to make sure it dings immediately when we get to the starving stage. Now I think I'm just going to go back and put some hacks into, oops, I left the runtime in. To tweak our hunger. And the problem is, I think that this gets evaluated when we get a message. So it's not like you can just change your internal structure. And you're going to be fine. Actually, if I threw another person in, they would be a baby, and we would see what that was. Now, I'm just you know what? Other thing I have to do is I have to change this to... So, one problem. This is insensitive to server set. Well, that's good. That's still... Maybe you would care that it varied based on server settings. And actually, if we just want to hear dings, so we just verified that it was not dinging at full, although if there's a special case for full. Yeah, okay. What if we make it appropriate to the server? Just kind of at the... You are naked, so that's going to make it go off actually sooner. You vary between well-dressed and not well-dressed, so... Oh, actually, come to think of it, the max strain time I think is... Well, it's 20, and then it ends up becoming 22 because it's plus the base. Oh. Well, that might not be well calibrated then. Of course, that's at times 10 to make it happen more often, and we are naked. $95, $112, and has not taken us out of starving. But we're also not dinging, so maybe there's like a bootstrapping problem there. And we actually want that to be 45 seconds. Okay, that's the one. We went into starving. I'm wondering if we have like a 0 update and then we get our real food or something. Or I'm just getting my math completely wrong. Windows, oh, I shouldn't need that anymore. And keeping 2 of them is even a little paranoid. And we caught that right when it was cleared. I typoed this, I guess. One of these is negative. Wait, that's just saying -1, so that means food drain time is -1? What? So food store is probably an integer. Food train time, I think, is going to be their floating. Hopefully that's not resulting in an integer result. Maybe there could be some weird rounding going on there. Like maybe the way he's displaying food drain time isn't the way he's using for storing food drain time? 16 times -1. Oh, we actually warmed up a little bit. I need to look how he's displaying seconds per food pip. Because that is not what I thought it was. Alright, so that's going to be seconds per food time string. Oh, do I have to consider indoor bonus? No, I think it's just displayed separately. Main seconds. Okay, so it does in fact start at -1. Oh, maybe he updates hunger before he updates food drain time. And that's our first update. Oh, that's a heat change message. So, I guess we have to default to base behavior until we get a temperature message, and then we have to reevaluate this? Oh, yep, and it's right up here. And then I would actually need a hunger change to run this code. Well, I can't get all the way I can't easily get to the top of this if statement. But there's clearly a type here. So either this is a function, or we do a little if type equals or type equals. Is food X our food? Food change. Food store. Food capacity. Last 8 fill max. Last speed? Move speed. Maybe he was planning to have foods affect your move speed? Or based on, like, if you're nearly starving, you have to slow down? Hmm. So this is like the step function, which is like a huge part of the file. So in a sense, to get it anywhere near the rest of the code, you'd have to do the little if or if. Or if type equals A or B. Or we just have to pick a spot to pull some stuff out. Dummy function A. It's so long it's slowing down effects on the following function. Yeah, because when you're down here, it tries to find the bounding bracket. Vim doesn't like it much either. Hmm. So if we mark that and then go starvation time. What do we need here? Yeah, we need a bunch of member functions. So this is going to have to be a member function. That was a static void. So if we could pass some things into it, I guess I could technically pass the living life page object to it. I hadn't considered explicit this. That would change the body of the code more. Now, yeah, it's doing hunger slips, but it's really the dings we care about. I don't know if there's any parameters for this. I mean, we'll have an rlive object, but very often it just gets reacquired inside the function. Now, since this is going to be all my code in my patches, I'm going to clean up the white space. I can only assume Jason doesn't run with visible white space of any sort. So it's a live object. rlive object equals get rlive object. Oh, actually, he does that, doesn't he? I guess the if will end up being outside of calling this function. And then this has to go in livinglifepage.h. That's not the same file order. Maybe those are a bunch, oh yeah, these are a bunch of standard functions. And that's public interface. Something about floor. Is same floor. Compute path speed mod. All right, so so this is going to be if true and our live object food drain time is greater than 0. So there's that. And then on heat change, which comes in later, oh, I should probably check that. Details. Oh, and I copied a char. We don't care. And we've got 1, 2. That's column 22301. Oh, I just never went back and fixed this. Okay. Oh, did I? Oh, because you also do the old cutoff. Well, oh, that was, what the heck was that? And I've somehow lost Mark B. Okay. There's food store. We still need that for the old age cutoff. Okay, so that's fine. That's currently at 9. We could, however, you expect to go quite a long time on that. Now, if I do that and then strip down, it might be able to trigger. And with this function, we could potentially tweak some variables and then actually get it to... Oh, well, yep, there's hungry. Now, this is the same conditions that the base game would do. Oh. Well, because we're at 450s, but this would be equivalent to 45 seconds in normal conditions. That's kind of scary. And then this. Okay, so we're to hungry. Oh, we got an extra set of pants. And now we're only hungry, though, and not even. So I guess the interesting thing now, and I wonder if this is going to be our first VOG crash now. No. Large slow fire. Which should actually make me even... make me even better. That's like better than... because it was like 20... well, maybe it was 20 plus 22. Oh no, it's actually getting worse as I get too hot. Okay. Alright, now. Nah, you know what? That, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to... oh. It'll be annoying to get all those closed again. Because I want to switch the server over to normal settings and see how babies feel. Man, I still haven't captured this for launching copies. Alright, so this might have, like, time ticked our fire, or... where was I? Here we go. And... well... oh. Alright, we're probably still on 450. We're going to want to change that. Okay, and you're actually even just too hot just standing there. Not as much as you, not any worse than would being cold, I guess. $17, yeah, because that would be 5 standing in cold. All right. Yeah. Okay, so you're fine now. A little hot. So that's on a fire. I guess I should have checked it too, but. Okay. Oh yeah, we're so 45 seconds. Yeah, you can see this going off. Hey Yaroslav, how's it going? Okay, so now I'm warming up, so I'm only hungry. Oh. Well, it's not as insistent at 2. It is actually still starving though. Even with near perfect temperature. This is the MinGW. I forget which one. Yeah, I use it for testing. But yeah, it would kind of ruin the game, I guess. So I don't know if this is actually much improvement. Well, you know what? Sometimes I end up being a duressed baby sitting by a fire. Maybe that makes a little bit of a difference in speed of change. I know in the base one, as soon as you hit 2, it's like ding, 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 ding. Even though I'm kind of good to 1. There's like one like libstdl or something you need. I think that's the only real dependency. Yeah, we seem to be going starving at about the same point, really. At 1 pip, you'd need a really good drain time to get 45 seconds. Oh, and then you're getting hungry as well. Of course, this is probably just about fully grown now. Yeah. Well, I mean, to build it, yeah, but I don't. Well, I set up the client stuff so long ago. All right, so you're gonna be way too hot. I might actually need to go down a little bit here. Remember those being needed to build. Ah, yeah. Okay, so that's just hungry. Yeah, so maybe the baby case was more about making you not starving when you can't be fed. Or not have any kind of hunger dings when you can't do anything. And I'm kind of in a similar place. That's like, I didn't want to be getting dinged when I shouldn't be fed. But it looks like this is going to be pretty similar. So that's just like hungry at 2. And full starving dings at, well, that's basically at the same place. Oh, that's kind of going starving closer to 1. I mean, I could adjust the time windows. But you also don't want to cut off your warnings too much. So this might still be something interesting to experiment with. Oh. Wait, that would mean that any build wouldn't work. You'd think that would... Well, I guess lots of people use the mods. Oh, you got a big bonus. Oh, I know what? That's right. That was another thing. Sometimes you get here with a big bonus, and it's just kind of dinging at you. So what is... That's going to get updated in a similar spot, right? Max food store, food capacity. Oh, that's yum bonus and yum multiplier. Oh, is this not a limit? Right, you wouldn't have that for other players necessarily. So this is just in the page. Okay. This is going to be a hard thing to really test. Because you'd have to, like, starve yourself, get a big yum bonus, which just kind of takes some... I guess I could fake it by doing a... Well, if I put myself in that condition, then I'm going to be on the edge of death, so it's a little hard to test. Oh, that child died. And I was on my number 2 account. Yeah, so we're pretty much starving right off the bat anyway. I guess out in the cold, that makes sense. Yeah, so I think relative times could be good, but it's not going to make any real difference in baby life here. Yeah, it's a little bit less beeps. So I guess that one will be in testing. Time-based hunger dings might be a better name for that. STG help. Rename. That probably means that it would be the current patch to get renamed. Well, it could also mean that 45 seconds is the wrong amount. Oh, and as always, if this actually works, it will need to have settings and things. That could be alarm time. And I guess you would just say 0 to disable that. Well, we'll play with it and see how it works out. And unfortunately, I got a little bit of... Yesterday, I woke up way too early, and I guess today I was catching up on some sleep. So I got kind of a late start, and I didn't have the opportunity to make any progress on the actual hierarchy stuff. So we'll see what all the leader ally... Was it like leader ally follower does? Let's see, leadership graph. You don't want on, because right now it's all test drawing. So that's what I want to play with today. We'll see how the other changes worked out, and then I still kind of want to be able to actually see the hierarchy of stuff to... You can figure out who's in charge and what you'd need to change to work with that. But I'm not really going to have like a unit of work right now. I mean, other than maybe adding settings to this, but I kind of want to see if it's even worth it. And then the leadership graph, I need to get my head into that for a little bit to understand all the position offsets and things. And then actually turning it into something useful instead of just a graph layout test. So that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching. What do we got? I thought... Yeah. Is this working? Yay, it's working again. It even came up fairly fast too. Maybe something else hit it. Maybe Amazon just leaves one lambda up. I don't know. Well, we do have 84H doing some Elm stuff, which is what all the what that's written in. So he's working on like a, I think it's partially to do with he's like some version of diabetic, so he's trying to track sugar and stuff, but also just generally baking in results and things. So he is trying to do more test-driven stuff apparently than I have felt the need to do in a lot of Elm. There's places that's good and places that maybe I'm just used to apps where the test suites take forever. But he's bringing a lot of his professional process to developing his little app. So if someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. A good day, and until this afternoon or whenever.